This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, all. Yes, I'm just sharing my screen. Wait for a while. Yeah. So, I'll just give a quick recap on the yesterday's one so that we'll continue with the SQL part. So, yesterday we just saw, yes, I think you can hear me, right? Yes, I hope. Please respond. Fine, no worries. See, yeah. So, in the yesterday's session, uh, we just talked about discussed about the database management systems and the properties that need to be followed by these database management systems, and also the advantages of DBMS we have seen. Okay, so yeah, advantages also we saw that the properties, acid properties, which means atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. These are the properties that every DBMS. See, I'm not telling you that only relational is following. No, I'm not telling that. HDMS, NDMS, and other database management system will follow this one. See, tomorrow you may become the scientist. Okay, somehow, and you introduced one database management system, just like RDBMS. So at that time you are supposed to pass the tests of these properties: atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So these properties should be there in your DBMS if you introduced new database tomorrow. Okay, new database management system tomorrow. See, if that was passed, then only what was the invention you have done, that will be considered as a DBMS. Otherwise, no. That we have seen. Now the types we already known and we understood a little. And right now we are talking about relational database management systems. See, we have this one, right? SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, we and many more we have. What are those? We have no, yeah. Anyhow, such kind of databases. See, these are all the databases that comes under relational database management system. Okay, see, the same SQL query you can run in the Oracle, the same SQL query you can run in the SQL Server, the same SQL query you can run in the MySQL. See, some or the other syntax may different, but the language is same. See, I will tell you one sentence. Good morning, very good morning all. See, these are all the same sentences which gives the same definition, correct? But I am telling it in a different manner. Okay, sometimes I will say good morning, sometimes I will be telling you good morning to all, very good morning, or great day to you all. See, these are gives the same meaning but with a different sentence. Like that only, everything is same but the syntax is varied from what database to database. Okay, see, don't think that SQL Server is something different, Oracle is something different, MySQL is something different. No. Okay, everything is same. Okay, can you tell me what are the most popular databases, generally? Most popular. Array, you might heard, right? Something.
MySQL, Redshift,
Huh. Yeah, SQLite.
Synapse.
something Cassandra, PostSQL, Oracle database. Yeah. So
Postgres, MongoDB.
yes. So yeah, why I'm asking you means, see, uh, if you know the databases, if I say only Oracle, if I say only SQL Server, these are comes under relational database, then you will be having a doubt called, um, what about PostgreSQL? What about SQLite? Something like this. So you tell me you know well-known databases, then I will tell you which comes under relational database management system. Okay, see, MongoDB and all, there is no SQL, but I didn't work. But see, I heard that in the MongoDB we will not use SQL. Without SQL we will be doing things. I don't know how, but we will be doing. And you said that Redshift, right? Redshift is an warehouse, AWS warehouse. Somehow you are telling that we can use SQL. That is correct, because even though it is a warehouse, the data it is storing in the form of RDBMS only. It is going to maintained by RDBMS only. Okay, fine.
What is the difference between SQL and NoSQL databases?
See, SQL databases means relational databases. Like the RDBMS will manage the database. Okay, by using SQL, we are going to talk with the data. But when
Okay.
it comes to MongoDB, and I think I'm not sure we have some other, but MongoDB is one of the thing, one of the database where we are not going to use SQL. We will not use SQL, but with the simple English statements, we are going to talk with the database. That is no SQL. Okay,
In
fine.
SQL, we'll be storing the data in the form of tables and all, right? If no SQL, what kind of data could be used?
Okay. Um, a small correction here is, in the relational database management systems, or else in the relational databases, we are going to store the data in the form of tables. Okay, so if the data is in the form of tables, then we are going to use SQL to talk. Okay,
Yeah.
in the MongoDB also the data will be stored in the form of tables only, but there we are not using SQL. We are using just simple English.
Okay.
Okay, see, every time the data will be stored in the form of, you know what we can say, table only.
Rows and columns
Okay,
only. Yeah.
yeah, rows and columns only. But the thing is, um, like if you want to talk, we are going to talk with the simple commands. That's it. So you may get it out that then we will go for no SQL. Why we are going for SQL? See, I think I'm not sure about no SQL.
I think,
Um,
as per my knowledge,
uh,
unstructured and
I think
semi-structured.
in the NoSQL we used to use unstructured data, right?
sem-
Not structured
ah,
data.
Yeah.
semi-structured data.
Yeah, semi-structured and unstructured both we use.
Okay. I'm not sure about unstructured. Yeah, maybe I'll go through it, but I'm sure that semi-structured data we are going to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, designed for, some like that only. Like if we have semi-structured data like JSON and XML files, we'll be using NoSQL in order to get. And of course, data can be accessed with low latency only. Nothing more in that. So, but in recent times, mostly we are using tables in order to store the data, right? That is why SQL is more famous. That's it.
Okay.
Fine. So, let us directly move on to the SQL thing. So, for that, in order to, uh, you know, write my queries and all, I'm just using SQL Server. Okay, this is a SQL Server interface. That's okay, fine if you use or not. Uh, I request you to install this, SSMS. SSMS is a studio. It's a visual studio kind of thing. So just install that. In that you will be having database engine. Like if you're trying to connect with that, so you'll have many services. In that you're going to take database engine. With that you will be connecting with your database. So my request for you is, if you are okay in using Oracle, please go ahead, no worries in that, but syntax may be vary here and there, some functions may be vary here and there, that's it. Okay. But if you are good enough that you will be using only SQL Server, I will send you the steps how to install that. Okay, fine. But make sure that tomorrow is Saturday, right? Yeah, maybe this week you should be install your servers. I'm not telling you that only SQL Server need to be installed. It's your wish if you install any other service for database.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. So I'll just tell you about this interface and all. If you don't know, just be concentrated here. See, I told you that we are going to have some authentication kind of thing, right? So if I want to use anything, or if I want to store create my database or create the tables or export the data, something like that, first I need to connect. The moment I open this SSMS, it will be opening like this. Now I want to connect to my database. For that, I will be clicking on the connect symbol. Okay, the pop-up window will appear like this. Now here by default, as I'm using since many days, it is showing by defaultly. See, if you want analysis service, you can go. You can, if you want reporting, you can. If you want integration, you can, like SSIS integration runtime you want, you can. But right now we will be working with the database, right? For that we have to use database engine. So click on database engine. So by default, server name will be deducted. If it is not, then you can click on drop down, browse for more. So expand this database engine, then you will get here. Okay, like that also you can connect. Okay, let me do that. um this. Okay, so now it got collected, sorry, connected. Now when it comes to authentication, you will be having these many types. So right now I'm just using Windows authentication. So if you want SQL Server authentication, you can create username and password. No worries in that, you can do it. Like we have login credentials, and there we are going to create username and password. But for now, just create Windows authentication, so every time it will not the case that you have to type the username and password. Now just click on connect. Now your SSMS. See, I am not telling you that SSMS is a SQL Server. No, it is a one of the studio. In that studio we have many services. In that many services we are using SQL Server services. Okay, SQL Server service. What is the use of SQL Server? It is a database. So for that database we are using SQL Server. Now I'm just connected to my databases. Now let me ask you a question. Mm, SQL Server, right? Is SQL Server is an on-premise one or a cloud? On-premise or
On-prem,
cloud? On-premise.
on-premise.
See, good. So many of you don't know what is meant by on-premise and cloud, right? Uh, I will tell you a simple example. Uh, for example, I want to open my mail. So I don't have my phone with me. I don't have laptop with me as well. So right now I want to open my mail. So can I use some other phone or can I use some other laptop to open my mail? I can, right? Like I'm just Okay, forget about mail. Many guys will install this Instagram, right? Will use this Instagram, right? Instagram is also a cloud service. Okay, why I'm telling you a cloud service? Because I have created the account. I just created the account. That's all. Did I provided the CPU for Instagram? No. Did I provided the um, you know what we call processors for Instagram? Nothing I have done. I just created an account and I started using it. So if that is the case, and you can open that Instagram in any of the mobile, in any of the laptop, which means your data will be stored in the cloud, which you can be accessible. So once your phone lost, it doesn't mean that your Instagram account is lost. No, go buy another phone and you can use it if you remember your password and user ID. But what if my system lost? Okay, what if I lost my system? Am I getting the data which I have in the form of Word document? No. But the same Word document, if I upload in OneDrive, I will be getting. Because OneDrive is a cloud, my system is an on premise. So on premise is nothing but, you know, the things which will be in your system. The permission will be up to system itself. It will not be storing data beyond the system. Once system got crashed, the data will be lost. Okay, one system got crossed, data will not be lost if your data is in cloud. Okay, so that is the difference between on premise and the cloud. I will not discuss much about cloud. Somehow if I start discussing, we have many things, like three servers we are maintaining, some will have availability zones and all. But just remember, cloud means one system get crashed also we can uh, get the data. On premise means if the system get crashed, we will not get the data. See, similarly, right? If you save your contacts in the phone, once the phone got damaged, what happens? The contacts will gone. If you store the same numbers with the mail, they will be there. You can put a backup from the mail. Okay, fine. So, SQL Server is purely an on premise one. Of course, now we have Azure SQL, which is a cloud one, which will be taking credits, where we are going to create an Azure account with the credit card and we'll be using. That is a cloud one. No worries in that. We are going to practice all the things in a on premise SQL Server only. Okay, now task for you is, remember, this is the first task I am giving you. Write few databases that are there in the on premise and list few databases that are there in the cloud. Okay, I told you the difference between on premise and cloud, right? So list out the on premise databases and list out the cloud databases. I told you Azure SQL is a cloud one, SQL Server is a on premise one, but both belongs to the Microsoft company. Like that, you just come up with few examples. I'll be happy if you post that same thing in the group. Fine. Here, the databases, this is the database I just connect, this is the server I just connected. See, it is showing active. Now if the databases which I have created will be showing here. Okay, right now I have many databases, but the moment you install your SQL Server, the SSMS, you will not be seeing all these databases. Okay, from here to here, the database symbols you will not be seeing. What you will be seeing, only system databases. The moment you expand the system databases, somehow you will be having master database, model database, MSDB, TempDB. See here, these are all the system databases, temporary databases. Okay, every time you have to create your own database. Okay, why? What happens if I use system database? Why I have to create my own database? See, system database is something like an admin one. Sometimes you will be having permissions, sometimes you will not be having permissions. So my suggestion, and in the temp db also, the objects will be storing temporarily. What is mean by objects? What are objects?
Tables.
Yes, exactly. Remember, from now on, I will not call tables. I will be calling it as an objects. Okay, tables are nothing but an objects. So those objects will be storing temporarily. Same here also, like MSDB model. Here we will be having some templates and all, which is not required. So my suggestion to you is don't store your data in a system databases. See, by default, the moment I click on new query, every time it will be showing in a master database. Sometimes you will be creating the things in a master database, but it's okay, no worries in that. But make sure that in which database you want to create and in which schema you want to create. Okay, so yeah, we have a command to create a database, no worries in that. uh, you will be seeing only system databases and database snapshot the moment you open. Now security, server objects, replication, these are all comes under if you see, we have many services, right? Like if I use SSIS, somehow I'll be creating catalog that I'll be seeing in somewhere. I'll be having some profiler, SQL agent there I'll be seeing. So these are all related to that. No worries if you don't. Here security means, server roles, credentials, admin part. Admin part means DBA team will be there, right? So if you want to create some, these are the things I just created: username and password. So there you can create. This is the by default one, server roles. So DBA people will give you all the things like security or login or the credentials, such kind of thing. This is their thing. So our thing is to understand only this part. I'll show you. Bhavya, is that good enough if I understand this one in SQL Server? Yes, it's good enough. Now I'll just show you one database, db1. See, inside this we have these many. So in this whole course we will try to understand the tables, views, database I will show you the database diagrams also. I'm not sure whether you have database diagrams in Oracle, because I worked only 1 month in the Oracle. No worries. um, but in the SQL Server we have database diagrams also. Tables, views, in the programmability we have all these: stored procedures, functions, triggers, many more like that. So this we will be seeing in the further classes. So this is all about the databases and how we have to do. Now where I have to write a queries, how I need to connect to my database, this is my first doubt. Here you will be seeing new query, right? See, we have database engine query here, MDX, DMX, something, and the DAX. The people who are into this field, into the data field, they know about this one. I will be telling you only one line definition for this. Okay, DAX is nothing but an um, analysis, analyzing query. In the Power BI you will be in the Power BI also you will be writing some queries, right? That queries are nothing but a DAX queries, which means on top of the analysis, in the analysis service we will use DAX language. DAX is also a language. Okay. MDX means multi-dimensional, analysis service. So if you are using multi-dimensional thing, then you will be using MDX. So no worries, we will not be touching these all. Okay, somehow these are all disabled. So let me open this new query. Yeah. See, the moment I open the new query, it has given one new name to this, and it has taken the master database by default. Okay, here, like how you want to see the result, that this panel will show you. Okay, fine. This is the execute one. Like the query you have written, that you will be executing by clicking here. Okay, see something you have written here. Okay, now you want to save this file. Just click on file and save. Where is that? Yeah, save all, save only one, save this only. See, otherwise you can simply click on control plus yes. Okay, I have written one query, let us assume. So I want to execute that query. See, in the further classes I will be using two words. One is compilation, another one is execution. So remember, I will not tell you when I will use compile, where I will not tell you when I will use execution. But make sure you should understand the meaning of these two words. Okay, of course, it will take many days of time to get compiled word from my mouth. Okay, so click on execute. So somehow you are writing query. If you feel like, oh, I need to move my cursor from here to here, it's a long distance, I can't do. Just click on control E. Select the query which you want to execute. Select the query which you want to execute. Just control E. Okay, you're going to get the output like this. See, this is the result one. Of course, I did not have anything. See, I'll remove this one. I'll click on control E. Let me close this. Nothing I'll be getting. Somehow I have written some dummy thing. So I just click on control E. The moment I click on control E, commands completed successfully, it is telling me. See, sometimes the default messages also will be designed. No worries. So this is the result pane. Here you are going to see the result. So like if you want to increase the result thing or the size of this one, you can increase it here. Okay, so here it will be showing messages, right? So after few days, message and result it will show. Okay, depends on the result it is giving. Okay, if it is a DDL, it will show messages. If it is a DML, then it will show result. If it is DDL and DML, then it will show result and message. Okay, now I don't want like this pattern, I want to change it. Now I'll execute the same thing, control E. See, somehow I'll be getting like this. You will be observing this thing in a um, table format, more in table format. Okay, fine. So anything need to learn here? If you want to disconnect, just click on this one, disconnect. You will be disconnecting to this one. So yeah, if you forgot to save your file, don't get panic, no worries, it will be there. Okay, like I have written this one and I just closed this. Okay, I just closed this one. I said no and I closed. I'll not get panic. Not, don't click on open because I didn't saved, right? um where is that? Click on recent files. Ayo, where is mine? Oh, I think if I close this SSMS, then it will be storing. Okay, so I'm just writing one select query. Um, Select star from EMP. I'm just writing one select query. Okay, now you have written one select query and you're getting everything. Now I just closed this one. So don't think that everything is lost. No. The moment you close this SSMS, you will be seeing this one. You will be seeing it in a recent files. Okay, here you will be seeing the one which you have created the recent. Now if you want to store your queries into your system, okay, your system, so this is on premise, right? So where it will be storing into the system only, into the laptop only. So here, like the path which you have given, there it will be storing. Here you can store, some into the desktop. If you want, you can store it, no worries in that. Okay, yeah, this is about SQL Server. So I want to tell you one thing. Why I have chosen SQL Server is it is an user friendly interface. Okay, it is very user friendly interface. See, you will be seeing databases here, many things here, just simply writing a query, just like that. But if you are habituated with some other databases, I will not tell you any objection. You can go and use, because if you are good in using Oracle, it will be very easy for you to use the SQL Server. But people who knows Oracle feel that SQL Server is complicated. Okay, no such thing. You can use whatever you want. Okay, yeah, fine. This is about SQL Server interface. I will be sending you the steps in the group. So make sure that as early as possible you should install your database. Okay, it might be anything. No worries. Now, it's okay that we have discussed much about this interface. Let me open uh, these interview questions is for you guys only. Yeah. So let's come to the main topic, that is SQL. Okay. Understand this SQL in a deeper. Now, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is also popularly known as SQL. See, if you observe it carefully, people who are uh, working since 10 years, they are calling it as a sequel. Okay, the people who are recently graduated, they are calling it as SQL. But people who are graduated before 10 years, they are calling it as sequel. Can you tell me why? Because in earlier, are you? No worries, I'll tell you. See, in earlier, it is known as sequel, SEQUAL, which means Structured English Query Language. QUA means query. E stands for English, S stands for structured, L stands for language. So, Structured English Query Language. But later on, it got modified and renamed as Structured Query Language. Okay, now we want to understand what is structured, what is query, what is language. We want to understand this one. See, I'll tell you, one line story here. Sequel, right? So why they have named it as a sequel means This language is very simple. I'm telling you, it's very, very, very simple, because it is just simple like our English. Like how we are speaking to the people in English, like that only we are speaking to the database. Okay, I'm just talking to the next to me, the person next to me, and I'm asking, get me some water. Like that only I'm talking to the database, get me some data. How I'm talking? Select some data from the database. So it's that simple. That is why it is called, simple English language. So s- how it got evolved to SQL means, the moment I am discussing about data, I just stopped one slide and keep on explaining you, right? About oh, tell me one thing, which kind of data we are using, or what kind of data we are going to deal with. What kind of data we are going to deal with? Quantitative, right? Remember,
Yes.
don't forget. Okay, yeah. Quantitative data, we are going to deal with quantitative data. So how data will be in the quantitative? Structured, right? So that is why the word called here structured. So we are going to deal with quantitative data. Quantitative data means it is an statistical data, and it is a structured data. So we are going to deal with the structured data. That is why the structured word comes into the picture here. Now, query. So in English language, query means what?
Question.
Yes, questioning, right? So querying means what? Questioning. So you are going to question the database. So that is why, oh, where is my cursor? So you're going to question the database. That is why query it has given. Now you are going to question the structured database. Correct? So that is why SQL comes into the picture. Structured query language. So you're going to query the structured data. That is why use the structured query language. You may get a question in the interview. Like if you are fresher, it will be helping you very much. Or if you are new to learn this, it will help you very much. Uh, what kind of, how we are going to, um, like which language we can use to query the data. So don't tell that SQL is used to query the data. No, we have many data, many formats of data. Can I use SQL and can I get the data from JSON? No. So tell them that I am going to use SQL in order to get the information from the structured data, which is also maintained by relational database management system. Tell this definition. Let's see who will not give job. Okay, now see here, it is a language that helps us to communicate with RDBMS. See, here we are saying one is sending, one is receiving, right? So I asked you, like I just asked you at the end of the class, do you have any doubts? What you will say? No or yes. Correct? So if I ask you the same question in Chinese, or if I ask you the same question in German language, what you will say? You will say nothing. You will feel that, oh, Bhavya is talking something. right? So interaction need to be there. So this is the language. This SQL language help us to communicate with what databases? RDBMS only. See, many times I'm repeating. Remember now. See here, a person with laptop. Who is this person? EF cod. Edgar something. F stands for what? I'm not sure. Edgar something we have. So EF cod from IBM has introduced relational model. Okay, we know. Yes, relational model. In order to communicate with the data which is there in the relational model, he introduced SQL. Okay, see, work hard for 1 year. You also introduced one database management system. The moment you introduce your own database management system, make sure that you need to install the language as well. Okay, yes. So who introduced this relational model and all? EF cod. Who he belongs to?
IBM.
Yes, IBM. Okay. Um what EF stands for? Okay, Frank. I just saw now. Edgar Frank Cod. Okay. Yeah, of course, the moment he introduced these one into the market, he also given us some rules to follow. He also given some, standard practices also. So I'll be discussing that rules and standard practices, but it's up to you whether you remember or not. It's good if you remember. Okay, we have many rules. We have many rules? No, only 12 we have. Don't think we have. But from all these, don't get panic that do I want to remember all these and all. No. So moving forward, you will be remembering all those. So these are all, just indicates this information. That's it. So one is a foundation rule, information rule, grant. What is this? Guaranteed access rule, systematic treatment of null values, dynamic online catalog, anything like this. See, one thing is clear. Don't try to remember the name of the rule. Try to remember the working nature of the rule. Okay, because no one will ask you what is the eighth rule of EF code. In the project, no one will ask you, or in the project you will not mention this is the eighth rule of EF code. Only in the exams you will mention. Okay, only in the exams. In the project, in the real time, no. So don't remember the name of the rule, just remember the thing. So working nature. And also I will tell you, don't remember in the form of rule 1, rule 2, rule 3 like that. No, remember how many we have and how it is going to work. That's it. So let us understand these rules in a better way. Database must be in a relational form. Okay, so EF code rules for what? EF code rules for the database. Okay, database for the these are all the rules for database. Remember, now database must be in a relational form, which means relational form means what?
Rows and
First rule
columns.
is yes. So relational form means rows and columns. That is the first rule. You are done with the first rule. The next one is information must be stored in each cell of a table in the form of rows and columns. Here also the same. Here also the same. No. Relational form means table form. How table will be there? In the form of rows and columns. That is the second one. Second rule. Now, each data element is guaranteed to be accessible logically with the combination of table name, primary key, and the attribute. Oh my god, I will not remember this much. I will remember only one line. What I understood is that if you want to access the data, if you want logically or physically, anything is fine. So you are going to access the data by using table name. Okay, of course we know that these are the simple rules, Bhavya. Is these are the rules? Yes, they he told. Of course we are intelligent animals, we are knowing this. Okay, so if you want to access the data, how you are going to access? By using table name. So let's say in a class we have two people with the same name. Okay, the moment I call Bhavya, just because we have two Bhavyas in the class, two people will get up. Correct? So I am an intelligent, super intelligent animal. That is why I will call him that. Uh, Not you, this Bhavya I want to talk. Okay, like that I will differentiate, like by seeing them, by seeing uh, yeah, by seeing their face I can easily remember and tell, right? So, or else with the initials I will be. So if the initials also same, what? Suffix. If prefix is same, suffix I will say. If prefix and suffix also same, something will be different, that I will say. So here also database will not see the tables like how we see. Okay, by seeing the data we can understand this is a table A and this is a table A. These are two different tables, but database will not. It is going to differentiate the tables by using names. So make sure that the moment you create a table, you should take a different name. You should take a new name, because we are going to access that table. Of course, database will not allow you to create a table with same name. That is the thing. And the next one is the null value has various meanings in the database, like missing the data, no value in the cell, appropriate information, unknown data. So null could be systematically treated. See, one thing I should tell you, null is a very, very, very dangerous in the SQL. Why it is dangerous? Sometimes um, null is acting like a friendly one. Sometimes null is acting like a dangerous one. Sometimes records are avoiding. Records means what? Rows. Data in the table which will be in the form of row, right? So that row. If that is the case, I need to handle the null, right? See, if someone is behaving differently, we will be tend to handle that person differently only according to their mood. So like that only, if no value was there, we have to use one function. If value is missing, we have to use some other function. If we want to get the appropriate value, then we have to treat the null. So he is telling that you have to systematically treat the null. He's not telling that use this to treat the null. No, he's not telling that. He is not giving standard thing to treat null. He's not at all giving. What he's telling, systematically what? According to the behavior, according to the need, according to the output, you have to treat the null values. Okay, see, if I'm not sure, um, in the interview many people are facing this issue. Like interviewer was asking what happens if you have null in table A and table B, how joins will work. What happens if I use set operators if I have null? So these are the questions that we are expecting. If you don't know how null is working, how you are going to answer that? Correct. So that is why you have to handle null systematically. That we will be doing in our class. No worries in that. So four we are done. The next one, the database catalog which contains metadata about the database must be stored and accessed using the same RDBMS. So nothing. So like the tables, the Metadata means, of course, structure of the table or the data about the data. That's it. So, like where you have stored the data, from there only you have to access. This mistake you will be. I'm sure that you guys will do this mistake. You guys will do. I'm sure, because in every batch, every people are doing the same mistake and coming up with that only. They will be creating the table in one database, and they are trying to get the data from another database. See, today, now I created the table in one database. If I access the data in another database, am I getting it? No, no, right? See, your office is in Madhapur. You went to Kondapur. How will you reach your office? No, right? The same thing here also. So make sure that if you are running a query, if you are using a query, you need to um, be aware of your database. Now, a language having linear syntax that supports data definition, data manipulation, transaction management operation. Array. No worries, like you need to follow the syntax. That's it. Okay. All the views are theoretically updated, must be updated by the system. Okay, this is all about views and all. Should be high level relation such as these. We will be, we will not concentrate on much. Must be independent of the application that access the data. Just take the screenshot of this one and read it, no worries. But before that, I'll tell you a few rules. As I told you, as we discussed, table name must be independent. That is the first one. And the next one is that for a single table, only one primary key should be there. Yeah. Rule one, what? Yes, you can hear me now.
Yes,
Yes,
Bhavya,
right?
we can hear you.
Bhavya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. So rule one is that the table name must be independent. Should be independent. The next rule is that one table, which means for each table you are going to have only one primary key. Okay, see, these all I will prove you. Don't believe my words. Not here, everywhere. Don't believe. Okay. Uh, each table, only one primary key. You know why I'm writing this one? You can take a screenshot of this one and try to work on it. Okay. For each table, only one primary key. Now, rule 3. You want, you can read all those 12 rules, but it's okay if you remember only these rules. Okay. So, and for each table, you can have many foreign keys. Okay, see, people usually get the, confusion between these primary keys and foreign keys. Okay, one primary key, but we can have many foreign keys. Okay, no worries. uh, and the rule 4 is each cell should contain only one value. Cell means only one value. Cell means what? See, this is the cell. See, this part is nothing but a cell. So here you need to have only one value. So you are not supposed to take 1 comma 2. Okay, so this is the wrong one. Okay, the cell which contains only one value is the perfect one. Okay, so if you write like this, you will not be getting, correct output while accessing. Okay, yes, so where we are now? Ah, so only one value. Now, next one is that very important rule. You know what is more dangerous here in the SQL? Null. You need to handle the null. Systematic handling of the null values. Um, I think we are good here. So these are the 5 rules that we want to remember. Yeah, this we have to remember. So I will be showing all these rules. So if we overcome these rules, what happens? See, rule means what? We must follow. Standard practice means what? May or may not. Okay, remember, rules are different from standard practice. Rule means you must follow at any cost. If you are dying, you need to follow. That's it. Standard practice means if it is required, then you can follow. If it is not, then no worries. So that is a difference between rule and the standard practice. So see, are the terminologies that you will be seeing in the market. So be aware of these words. Now, where we are now, yeah, those are the rules um, that we need to remember. You just take a screenshot of this one and read this. Okay, not that much, not important. Now, so walk through SQL Server UI. We just done that. We just done. So yes, we have many things to discuss. Yes. So yeah, database means, right? It is a place or a medium where we can store the data in a systematic and organized manner. See, of course, we are moving into database means what? Structured data only, right? And how that will be? That will be in an organized format. So that we are going to name it as a database. And database, see, the moment I call something as database, it should perform the CRUD operations. It's not CURD, it's CRUD. Okay, CURD means, right? It's a CRUD. CRUD, CRUD. Yeah. So see, tomorrow I will invite one new thing, one new database, and everybody around me will not give a clap. Oh, Bhavya, you have introduced database. No, they will not. What they will do? First they will list out the rules. First they will list out the operations, whether those rules, whether those operations are satisfied or not. If that's satisfied, then only they're calling it as a database. Like that only we have some operations. Okay, so if you are able to perform those operations in the database, then it is called a database. Of course, just like that, we will not call something a database. Okay, because every test will be done, and that only it will be releasing into the market. So CRUD operations are nothing but very simple. The moment I show you the picture, you will be like, oh, this is the one. See, C for CRUD, R for read, U for update, D for delete. Okay, so database, this is related to database, guys, remember. Okay, so you can create anything if you want to create inside the database. If you want to read from the database, you can. If you want to update something in the database, you can. If you want to delete something from the database, you can. So that is nothing but an CRUD operations. Okay, if someone asks you about CRUD operations, don't tell that, oh my god, what is that? I don't even heard that word. Don't tell that. This is simple one. Okay, yes, here is a real thing starting. Okay, I thought to start DDL today, but anyhow, tomorrow I will start. Yeah, SQL is a language. Inside that SQL, we have sub languages. Those are nothing but this one. See, I will tell you that DDL will take 4 days of time, DML will take 3 days of time, DCL and TCL will take 1 day of time. Total 4 plus 4, 8 plus 9. Okay, that's it. 9 to 8 days, these four sub languages will takes place. But the remaining 30 days, 30 hours, DQL will take. Okay, so make sure you should attend all these 40 classes. Okay, tomorrow we will be seeing this DML directly, because I will not take much in order to give introduction. Of course, we are done. It's almost 3 days, right? So I think you may get some clarity here. Still, if you have any, you can post in the group or you can ask here directly. So tomorrow I will be going directly into the DDL, everyday tasks. Okay, I will not leave you. Don't think that how she is talking. Okay, so it's up to you that you practice or not. I will not force you guys, but I'll be asking you every day. Okay, it's fine. So make sure that you need to install any database. Okay, if it is SQL Server, I will help you out. If it is another database, I will try to help you out. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's all, guys. If you have any doubts, you can put on. Yes, anything. It's fine. If no, you can wind up the session. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.
Thanks, Bhagat.